Hey Maker, this is Jess. I'm back again with another video, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make these extra large wave taper candles, and I'm going to be exploring how different temperature affects the results you get. So grab your jug. I'm using the same jug I used to make these sample ones, and put it on your scale and weigh out some wax. I'm using crystal palm wax for this example. Put your wax on your heat plate and melt it. And don't forget to turn it on. You know, whatever you use to melt your wax will work for this. Here I'm showing you the wax is melting and I'm just stirring it around. And now I'm going to prepare the mold while I'm waiting for the wax to melt. And here I am just going to be poking some holes with my sharp wick scissors. You can also use like a needle or anything that's really sharp to get a hole into the center of the top and bottom of the candle. And in this particular mold that I'm using, it doesn't really have a preference to the top or bottom, meaning that either one will work for this. So I'm just showing you here that I'm making a hole in the top and the bottom. And I really love this particular mold because I don't even have to use blue tack when I'm putting the wick through. It doesn't leak. It's like fantastic. I think that's why I made so many candles when I was filming this. So I'm just putting the wick now through one end, and you can see it has a tab, and I'm just leaving the tab on for now. It doesn't matter. And I'm just going to pull the wick through the mold, leaving a large end just enough so that I can get the wick through both sides successfully. And you can see here I'm struggling with getting the wick through, and sometimes these silicone molds you need a little bit of help, so I've grabbed a wooden skewer stick with a blunt end and I am just expanding the hole a little bit, and then now I'm grabbing another skewer stick with a sharp end to see if I can make a difference with getting this wick through. And I tried a variety of ways of, you know, trying to poke it through and stuff, but I ended up using the blunt end of the skewer stick to push the wick through, and just use my wick scissors here to help me. And then you just kind of pull both ends of the wick taut so that it's tight in there. And I kind of twisted it a little bit and it seemed to work really good that way. Now I'm ready to just pour some wax into here. So before I pour it, I'm going to add some liquid candle dye. I'm using a concentrated liquid candle dye. This is in Hunter Green. I'm putting 5 drops in. I always tend to do 500 grams of wax with 5 drops of my concentrated liquid dyes, usually as a standard. I get a really good color this way. And now I'm just measuring in my fragrance. I'm using turquoise scented fragrance by Brambleberry. This is one of their older ones. I don't know if they still carry it in or not anymore. So I'm using about 50 grams. That's why I've got it on my scale. And I always like to add the dye before I add the fragrance oil to get it really incorporated in there. The fragrance oil just disperses the wax. I mean the color really well. And I'm just putting it back on my scale and on my heater to heat up a bit more. And this particular candle, I'm pouring it at 90 degrees. So just carefully pour in your wax into your candle mold now. Careful not to overfill it. Trim the wick tab off when it is completely cooled down, and gently pull down the sides and the top and bottom to unmold it. And you can see at 90 degrees I've got the bottom is still discolored, but the sides, so I'm having this discoloration problem on the bottom now, where the crystal pattern isn't going onto the bottom, but we've got the crystal pattern along the sides of the candle. So now I'm going to be doing some different testing to see what I can do here to get the crystal of the wax, because this is like crystal palm wax. I'm trying to get it throughout the whole candle. So I'm just going to show you how to curl. You just get a skewer stick and wrap the wick around the skewer stick and pull it tight, and then just take out the skewer stick, and it makes this nice curl on the wick. Kind of pretty. Now I'm going to do another batch where I'm pouring it at about 80 degrees Celsius now, and we're pouring that into the mold, and I'm going to see what the results of this one were. Next, I'm going to do one at about 70 degrees Celsius and pouring that into the mold to see what the results were. I actually didn't press record, I think, when the 80 degrees one. So this is the 70 degrees one. Here we can see that we've got the crystal pattern on the top. We seem to be having a lump down the middle of the candle, and down the sides you can see no crystal pattern, just a solid green, and that's not the look I was going for. So, and also you can tell like I poured it too cold because I've got chunks broken out of the candle along the side of the mold. So 70 degrees is too cold. Next, I'm trying to heat up the bottom of the mold before I pour my wax, and I'm pouring it hot at 95 degrees Celsius into this mold that's preheated to see what results I can get. And I can see here I've got a nice flat top. I did not overfill the mold, so I don't have the bowing in there, and just unmolding it here, and look at that bottom. Other than where I was lazy and didn't melt the you know, so these were my original ones where I had the crystal on the side, but I was still having problems on the bottom. Here's the 70 degree one where it is just yucky green, no crystal pattern, only on the top, and it's bowed. This is the 80 degree one where it is kind of crystal, kind of green, and here is the 90 where I heated up the mold, and it's beautiful on the bottom, other than me being lazy and not taking the chunks out of the mold beforehand, not cleaning it, and the top is flat. And here I'm going to show you just this is where the I've over poured the mold, where it's like got this bowing, and you can see that here, just where this is still like cooling down, but you can see that there's a clear bowing, like a mountaintop kind of down the center of the mold. Too much wax in the mold here is what causes this, but this is what the results are you're looking for, not over pouring nice and flat tops. And so that's just how it goes with not filling up the mold so filled with wax. I really, to secure these, I just grabbed some like blue tack, thumbtack, you know what I mean, pushed it into these larger taper candle molds. I like these candle holders because they've got like a wider and a skinnier, and whoo, there we go. Got some beautiful wavy candle tapers, and I hope you love them. Thanks so much for watching and joining me on this tutorial. If you like videos like this, just give me a thumbs up. Any questions, let me know down below. Thank you so much, and I'll see you again in the next video. Bye.